Today we're going to be taking a look at an enchantment deck, but there was no way I was going to be playing Selesnya enchantments on this channel. So instead, we're going to be playing a much more swagged out version of enchantments with this Azorius build. And the build around here today is going to be Hercule. Now, Hercule works really good with tribal decks because Hercule's ability says that whenever we play a non-creature spell, we get to go 5 cards deep into our deck on the end step to find another spell that matches the same type of spell we played earlier. So it works really good with enchantments because every time we play an enchantment, we can dig for another enchantment, which is not going to be hard to find because the whole deck is made up of those enchantments. And it's not just card advantage, it's card selection, so it's pretty darn busted. Our win cons here today are things like Hollowed Haunting and Machiko. Hollowed Haunting is going to spit out a ton of spirit tokens for us, and they're going to get bigger over time. Machiko pumps them up, you smack them in the face for the win. And then of course, because we have blue, we have access to some really fun enchantments that aren't normally in these types of decks. Things like Grafted Identity and Witness Protection. Grafted Identity allows us to steal an opponent's creature by sacrificing one of our tokens, which we're going to have a ton of to use as fodder. And then Witness Protection acts as a bit of a pseudo removal spell, making one of their creatures a 1/1 citizen, pretty much rendering it useless. And it's also an enchantment, so it triggers Hercule's ability as well. I know you guys are gonna have fun with this one as always, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and there will be a full deck breakdown at the end of today's video, so stick around for that. In the meantime, in the links below, there's a full deck list, and if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps out an absolute ton. With that being said, enjoy the games, guys. Peace. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be playing some enchantments, but this is not your normal Selesnya enchantments. This is gonna be strictly Azorius enchantments, and we're gonna be running Hercule, which is hopefully gonna be drawing us a lot of cards here today if we can find it and get it down onto the battlefield, because everything aside from Hercule in our deck is an enchantment, so we'll be drawing cards pretty consistently. Not only drawing cards, but hopefully getting some selection as well. But it's been a fun deck so far. Not gonna lie, we're back at the bottom of platinum. We've been messing around with this thing all day. It's been tough, but I think I finally got it dialed in. The problem I had is the early game was a bit weak, but I went ahead and made some adjustments and considered throwing in some blue enchantments like this Witness Protection, and it's really made a world of a difference, to be honest, because we've been able to protect ourselves so much easier in the beginning of the game. Not to mention too, Depopulate was a late addition, which I don't know why I didn't have that in there a little bit earlier, but now we're feeling pretty good about where we stand. All right, the opponent runs out of Jewel Thief, which is a good hit for the protection if I can't find a land that's on-tapped. Nope, we do find our on-tap source, so instead we're going to go with the Ganjo. We can play the Witness Protection for free, essentially, next turn by discarding it into the graveyard and having it come right back. No attacks. We have a really good start here. I'm very, very happy about this. I'm not really super stoked about the opponent running multiple colors, though. It looks like they're probably going to be a 5-color deck based on what we're seeing here, but currently we're only seeing Jund on the field, so who really knows? Another Jewel Thief. I mean, these are all treasure generating tools, which kind of indicates that, right? So I'm starting to think more Depopulate this turn, right? So if I go Depopulate this turn, what is it that I maybe want to get on the battlefield? Maybe I want to get this down and then just Depopulate. That seems good enough, right? There's just a little bit too much happening here with these two Jewel Thieves. They have trample. They're hard to defend against. So let's just clear up the board here and then we'll start fresh next turn, which is totally fine because we can go Hollowed Haunting. And even if we don't find a land drop, we can go right into the Witness Protection to start spitting out some spirits. So that'll be super helpful. A third Jewel Thief. Wow. Shuffler's on its stuff today, huh? All right. Hold on. I got to sneeze here. Excuse me. All right. I think that's what we're going to do. There's a couple of different takes we can do here. I mean, we could have gone with the Aganjo to make sure we hit the land drop, but I think this was fine, to be honest. Oh, man. I should be dusting the room later today, so hopefully that'll help a lot with my allergy problem. All right, Iconoclast. And they attack into us here. I'm going to definitely do this. That way we can make a spirit token. Ah, they make it bigger though. Fantastic. All good, all good. Let's go with the restoration here. Get our land, create another spirit. We should be able to overrun the opponent here pretty easily, if I'm being honest. Like, we've already got such a solid board state, you know, brewing here, that they're not going to be able to come back from what we're about to dish out here, which is just a plethora of spirit tokens that are going to get absolutely massive. So gonna swing in here, gonna leave back the 1/1 as a blocker potentially. The opponent does have 3 cards in hand though, and like I said, they do have access to all 5 colors, which could lead to, you know, anything really. I mean, a drag to the bottom, really, that would only hit for, well, that would hit for 4, which would be enough. War Chief for its blitz cost. That's not something I expected, that's for sure. So this is really starting to look like a Jund aggro deck. Totally strictly aggro, which is, you know, fine by me. We do go down to 8, which is a bit scary with all the trample and haste things they've got going on here, but I'm starting to, you know, create such a big board here that I don't really necessarily care too much that we're at 8, so we can protect ourselves pretty easily. All right, let's get a companion back, yeah. Another Hollowed Haunting. That's pretty awesome, I can't lie. Now things are gonna get pretty crazy. And everything flies and they all have vigilance. That should do it. That should definitely do it. And we're drawing cards, love that. All right, no coming back from that, unless of course, like I said, they have some sort of sweeper mechanic. They would need to get another treasure though to access things like Depopulate or Farewell. They're just running strictly Jund on the lands. Not sure. Yeah, drag to the bottom's not going to hit. That's only going to do 4. There it is. GG's. I guess if they did 4 though, it would take out a spirit here and an enchantment here. Is Spirited Companion actually a spirit? Let me actually double check that. I don't believe it is. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, we would have been fine. Awesome. GG. That was a great way to kick things off, man. Hollowed Haunting can really run away with the game pretty quickly. I'd like to get some of the Hercule game plan going though. You know, with the deck being all enchantments, it'd be nice to get some Hercule going and generating some card advantage off of that. But opening hand here seems pretty good. I mean, I'll definitely take this, you know, into the Iganjo, right into the Depopulate most likely, because, you know, we're into a very aggro meta. So that should be a really nice 1-2. And the opponent, ooh, takes a couple mulligans there. That's tough. That is tough. We draw into another land, which isn't necessarily what I need unless it's going to be a blue source, because if we do draw into a Hercule, well, we're going to want that extra blue. All right, that's annoying though. The Kami is such a tricky card to deal with because, you know, destroying things with Depopulate doesn't necessarily answer that problem. So I think what I'm going to need to do is obviously bounce it, maybe resetting it. But then from there, I'm not too sure what we can do other than outscale it, of course, with my Hollowed Haunting. We can definitely get a much more dangerous board than them at some point, maybe. And let's go ahead and drop the iteration. Let's bounce this. Make them replay that. It is a 2-mana spell, so it's just going to slow them down pretty, you know, significantly, I think. All right, and what is their next spell here? It's got to be another 2-mana enchantment, I would imagine. Jukai Naturalist, yep. Fits the bill. That fits the bill, all right. That's pretty nice. I could use it on the Kami this next turn. Ooh, that's also pretty good. Yeah, I think we're going to go here, and then the Seed of the Empire is not a bad move here for a block. Not that they could attack into us anyways, unless they get the Kami up to a 4/4, which I'm sure they can. They've got a handful of cards here and plenty of mana. So, yep, Kami goes to 4. They get their Hollowed Haunting in before we do, which is a little bit unfortunate. Confinement. Oof. Oof. That's a bummer. And then that does put us in a spot here. Do we want to waste this now? Because we could block and then use this, but I could just depopulate the board next turn, which is probably the smarter play. Is it the smarter play though? We are left with a 3-3. I don't know. I think I'm going to steal this actually. Here we go. We're going to do this. We're going to blow this up. We're going to allow this to get through. I could kill the companion, but I don't really care. And then we're going to use the 1/1 as a tool here to steal the Kami. Thank you. And Kami is a spirit, so it does take away some of the pumping of their own spirit tokens here. And we've got the 6/6 body, and Kami plays extremely well with our deck, by the way, so I'm okay with that. Weaver, that is actually really annoying because it can double down on some exiling effects. We really got to stop drawing lands. That would be a really good starting point here for us, to just stop drawing lands. It's not bad. All right, they can't play any 1-mana spells here next turn, and then they scoop it up. Oh man, they did not like us stealing their Kami. I don't blame them. I mean, that is a tough thing to come back from, especially when the Kami works extremely well with our build. So that's a really good GG's for us there. Love it. All right, talk about a killer steal there with that opponent, man. I'm telling you what, that Kami steal was next level. I'm really glad I settled on that instead of blowing up the board with Depopulate. Because Depopulate is just going to reset the board anyways, because Kami goes back to their hand. They get to do their things all over again. So it was nice to figure out a way to just permanently get that out of their hand and dealt with. All right. Gonna go with the Spirited Companion. I could have gone Witness here on this, but I think it's fine to just go ahead and get that down. Stealing it also is a nice little play too, because the Shadow doesn't necessarily need black sources to get bigger. It can be pumped with you know, generic colored mana, so that might be pretty good. I'd really like to make sure we hit a last land drop here, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. Gonna leave back some blockers here for the blade here of the Oni. Yeah, I need to find a 4th land drop here so I can ensure that we hit these spells. We should win this one though pretty easily, honestly, because we have the ability to sweep the board. So winning this would be pretty likely for us, I think. It is a bummer that those go to exile. That's not fun. Come on, we're better than that, aren't we? We can do more. He can give us a land, that'd be great. All right, Companion comes in, give us the extra card. Thank you. Thank you. And I guess turning these into a 1/1 and then next turn using this to steal the other one, that's fine. Again, not necessarily needing to depopulate then, if that's going to be the case. Which does feel like a little bit of a waste. Like, I feel like a depopulate might be a cleaner answer than trying to go around all this nonsense to try to make it work, to steal this, make that smaller. But you know, if the mana doesn't want to fall in the right spots, we got to do what we got to do. All right, they just made it even better somehow. Let me see here. Enchant artifact or creature you control whenever it enters the battlefield. Destroy target creature or planeswalker opponent controls. As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets a 1/1 counter. It's pretty solid. No. I should have attacked first there. That was a mistake on my part. I guess it wasn't too late to cancel it actually already, but it's fine. All right, we got a good blocker against the other one now. I definitely should have attacked though to get that 1 point of damage. It could end up meaning something down the road. We get them to use a hero's downfall on their own creature there. Love that. High value play for us. They just run that one right into a wall. And we get a Hollowed Haunting. Let's go. We are now set for business going forward, guys. We got plenty of mana now to work with, plenty of enchantments in hand, and you know, some sweepers if we need them as well. Start out with this so we can draw cards without any sort of repercussions. Then let's draw a card. That was quite the find, by the way. And Machiko seems good. I'd say that's a pretty good swing of events there for us. Shieldred gets answered so easily there with us. Love that. It's gone. And another Shieldred. I honestly had a feeling that was going to be the case. Let's draw a card here. Hercule's nice. Let's go here. Let's bounce the Shieldred. And that should be enough for game, I think. I didn't quite count up the damage here, but I would imagine it's got to be more than enough. There we go. GG's. Shieldred, quite the card, man. I think right now the paper Shieldred that I have, it's the Phyrexian version. I think it's like going for like 80 bucks right now. That card is popping. That card is really, really good. Such an annoying card to have to deal with, but good game, man. All right, I'm feeling pretty comfortable in saying that I think we got something here, guys. It took a while to get there, but I think we got something. I still don't think we've gotten the Hercule down, though, for you guys to see what it can do. It's a pretty busted card, man. Man, this is a scary keep. I may end up regretting this pretty heavily here. We'll see. It's a scary keep because it's a two-lander. Two-landers are always tough. But we find the land. Love that. Nothing from the opponent there, huh? Interesting. And we keep finding our land drops, which is all I needed to see to feel much, much better about this. Mono white too typically means that depopulate probably going to be pretty good. And it's soldiers. Creatures you control get 1/1 until the end of turn, and it has flash and flying. All right, Brutal Cathar. Making my depopulate much better. I am going to start things out though with the Hollowed Haunting and take the damage. I totally think that's fine. And then we make a chump block maybe, or maybe they even play another Brutal Cathar, which would be pretty cool too. I just need them to invest more into the board on this turn here. Love it. Love it. Looking like a juicy depopulate to me. Do a little reset, and now we should be able to outscale them, I would imagine. We've got 2 protections that we can drop down to, you know, basically render a creature or 2 irrelevant from our opponent, but also bringing in a couple spirits. That should do the trick. This has a Coven ability, get protection, that's right. All right, we start things out with another wedding announcement. We drop one of these down on this. And, I mean, do we do it again, or do we find a better target? I think we're gonna wait next turn for a better target. Another sentinel. Okay, there's just 3 sentinels on the field right now. Pretty annoying. Nothing, huh? All right, I guess we're gonna use this up then for another sentinel here. All right, and then we could happily attack in with both of these. We might as well send the whole team, right? Pressure them a little bit here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Reinforcements, that's annoying because now they can make some creative blocks here by doubling up on some stuff. But they eat all of it, which is interesting. We're only down to 16, so they're not going to be able to kill us this turn. That was a little bit of a surprise, though, for them to play that. One, 2, 6. Yeah, that's, yeah, not even close. Not even close. And then we attack back. They didn't know we only had a land in hand, though, which was a little scary to find that as our top deck there. But still, very clean win once again. GG's. And I feel like, guys, this is going to be the game we get Hercule. Got to get Hercule down. Get some cards, man. Well, there's the Hercule. But it came with a pretty heavy cost. Cannot keep that hand, unfortunately. This one is much better. Definitely the Spirited Companions can get us there for sure. That was tough. Another Soldiers deck, though. What a bummer. What a bummer. Spirited Companion. We get a tap land, which obviously can get in with the Aganjo on stage 2. I don't know if we're going to be able to beat this one, though. We don't have the sweeper. We're going to have to find a sweeper here if we're going to... Okay, I definitely am going to block that. I don't know why they would swing in there and make that trade, but I'll take it. Might as well drop this in as well. It's early. I know that. It's very early. It's not a good blocker, but if we can get it down now, get the summoning sickness part over with, we can hopefully get it much bigger down the road. This has ward 1. Whenever it becomes day or night, if it's neither day or night, it becomes day or night. Enters the battlefield. Whenever day night becomes day, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal a creature card mana value 3 or less from among them. Put it in your hand. Put the rest in the bottom. Okay, so they basically get some pretty good card advantage with that. I'm gonna play this. We're just gonna keep going over the top. We're gonna keep eating quite a bit of damage, but it is what it is. No worries. All right, so the whole squad gets pumped up here and they unearth. That's fine. That's a lot of damage. We're going down to 10. The veteran pumps the squad, man. That's such a busted card. Nothing less they can do here for this turn. So the frontliner gonna be gone for good though. Goes to exile, thank goodness. We get a free Spirited Companion here. Spirited Companion is gonna draw us a card, and then hopefully we can get some extra spells down this turn. All right, this comes in, pumps up the Catilda too, by the way. All right, and I guess going with another companion into a Machiko seems pretty good, if I'm being honest. I think that's fine. Another Catilda. All right, let's go right back up to 19. Keep smacking them in the face here. They're down to 9. We got potentially lethal next turn. If we don't make any blocks here, we could just go right over the top with Catilda and kill them. Not to mention that, you know, the restoration's going to flip into a creature this next turn, and we have backup things, you know, backup Catilda, backup restoration. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for them to get back into this. The only thing that really scares me here, I think, is Brutal Cathar. That's not a Brutal Cathar. That's not enough. Dang, that might be though. Holy cow. What do we got? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. Okay, so they can't kill me. So there's no life gain coming from them either. So that's going to be game. GG's. Beat soldiers again, man. Holy cow. Did not expect to beat soldiers back to back like that. That is wild. Wait, was it soldiers last game? Was it soldiers? I don't even remember. I don't think it was. It might have been. Anyways, I've lost it. GG. All right, I remember now. I think it was soldiers, but it was kind of strange. They had like a bunch of sentinels. All right, what do we got here? How many games have we played, by the way? 5. All right, I get to go first. This hand leads to trouble for sure. Another good hand here, but man, just the mana was garbage. Good game. That was a good game. We had a really good game here, my friend. Oh man, what a joke, huh? What a joke. I'm pretty sure they said hello. I couldn't remember. I think they did though. All right, well, we lost this one. That is for sure. The top decks have to be absolutely spot on phenomenal for us to have a chance at this. So wish me luck. And if they counter this, there's no way we make it back into this game. Good game, my friend. Good game. Oh, that is so lame, dude. That has got to be the most lame situation ever. To turn on the rank system and then just know like you had 0 chance. No matter what scenario unfolded, you were going to lose that game. That's a bummer. All right, I don't even care that we lost that one. It's fine. There was nothing we could have done there, so whatever. We keep it moving. All right. right, opening hand here. We have Hercule. Oh, man, this is not a good keepable hand here because the mana doesn't even line up with Hercule, and then these are typically later in the game sort of spells. But you know what? We'll keep it. We'll see what we can do. We're probably asking for trouble. That's good. We'll take that. Some blue mana now. So now we just got to find sweepers, and I think we're fine. Like a depopulate, and we're good to go. I don't even necessarily think depopulate against mono red is, you know, the most important thing to find. Mono red doesn't exactly get extremely wide a whole lot of times. It's just annoying. All right, we're going to try to be quick about this as far as keeping our life total where it's at. So this is going to be a 2-2. I know that doesn't change things very much for most people's eye, but you know what? It can't grow. So if they throw fireballs at our face, it doesn't grow. Not to mention if they play the enchantment down that makes red creatures hit harder, it's not going to hit any harder. So I think there's a fine witness protection. All right, they deal 4. We can live with that. Could have been worse. Hercule has finally made it to the battlefield. Let the card advantage begin as long as there's no crazy burn spells coming through, which I'm sure there is. A good indicator would be if they attack here confidently. Well, I guess they've shown their hand and their cards technically here, so we got a good block. Wow, they give this up. They could have easily saved both of those creatures. I'll take that all day. The identity is such a good card, but unfortunately in this spot it's not gonna do me any good. I have a good chump block with this, right? So I guess we play this out. Yeah, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I'm only playing this out because it can become a body shortly. There's our Hercule going off finally. And you know, more bodies are better for blocking and trying to figure that out. That's gosh, unfortunate, man. Back-to-back L's here, it looks like, for sure. Man. What a bummer. All right, that's 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Well, we can only block here. We're taking 5. We go down to 1. Any certain fireball effect at all wins them the game. Wow, we do get actually pretty lucky with that top deck. But again, it just takes 1 haste creature, 1 fireball, and they win the game. So that'll do it. GG's. Man, 2 tough games. The first one, though, the first loss we just took there, not even a loss in my opinion. It just was the shuffler decided that we weren't going to win that game. This one, on the other hand, was definitely more of a loss, and mono red gets it done. We kept a bad one there too, though, especially for this sort of matchup. We didn't have any sort of plays happening until Hercule came down. The witness protection was nice, but it didn't get us a lot of value, so it is what it is. No worries. All right, at least we got to showcase a little bit of Hercule there, so that's kind of nice. That is pretty nice. All right, we get to go first. I love this because I have the Spirited Companion. Our curve looks phenomenal, so hopefully we can compete here with this opponent. It looks like another mono red player, though, so that's not great. Voldaren, maybe not. Maybe Rakdos artifacts. We have a good block with the Companion against the Voldaren, though, so we can protect our life pretty well here. No, starting to look a little more like mono red. Ooh, that's going to make it unblockable pretty much with the menace. And then the treasures are going to be lining up. So, and when it dies, they get to draw a card as well, which is going to be tough. But I do have a double block here now. They're going to have to play some sort of play with fire effect or something to not have me block, which they definitely could have. I do kind of want them to unload their hand, though, so if they do keep attacking with the Voldaren here over and over again to get these treasures, it's only going to encourage them to basically unload their hand much quicker, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because we do want to blow up the board with depopulate next turn, so I'll take it. More treasures, card draw here for them as well. That's a good card. It's a really good card. Do we still sweep the board here? I think so, right? That's the right thing to do. All right, yeah, let's go and sweep the board here. Professional Facebreaker can eat these treasures to, you know, get card advantage, but they have to play them this turn. So I think blowing up that now is a pretty wise decision. And then next turn, I could always play the Hollowed Haunting out and then the Witness Protection onto whatever threat they may play out and create a Spirit right away, which is pretty high value. That's a really good creature to put the protection on as well. So that is a good card, man. I'll tell you what. 1 damage to any target every time a red source gets played. That is not fun. I know how the game loves to tap this wrong when we have a pain land out there. So let's go and play this out like so. Auto pay. Witness Protection has been pretty darn clutch for us. I can't lie. It's been a pretty phenomenal card in a lot of spots for us lately. A 1-mana blue spell that just, you know, basically renders the opponent's creature useless, almost working as a completely, you know, a complete removal spell. Yotia Declares War is interesting. Do they go right to level 2? They do. So they're going to try to tap a couple of these blood token stuff, you know, things that they have to blow up one of my creatures. Totally fine. It's not ideal, but it's fine. Yotia Declares War is a very cool card. No attacks from the opponent. Didn't think they would. Catilda comes down, which isn't the greatest, but it is a 5/5 lifelinking body, and that is enough to scare them away. So that'll work. GG's, man. A really good game. Right back into it. Recovered from that hard loss. That will conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to break the deck down and talk about it a little bit further. But before I do that, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who made it this far into the video. It helps out an absolute ton when you make it this far because YouTube loves to see the watch time. So I do appreciate you for that. Thanks for hanging out and thanks for supporting the channel. With that being said, let's take a look at today's build, man. Hercule was the main card here that we built this entire deck around, right? So Hercule's a very powerful card that I've been looking for a spot in for a while now and wasn't sure how to use this thing at first. So was kind of using it in a deck where we ran a bunch of different types of spells. And that way, if we hit, we were likely to hit another one of those types of spells because we run multiples of all these sort of types of spells. But it actually worked quite the opposite. You wanted to make sure that you narrow it down to 1 or 2 types because if you run it in a tribal deck like this, where you play an enchantment, you're more likely to find that enchantment. So I knew I wanted to run an enchantment deck today. I didn't want to do Selesnya. You can't do Selesnya with Hercule. And I didn't want to do a Bant deck because I feel like those have been played out and done a million times. So I stuck strictly to Azorius today, and that's where we started this deck out. And so I knew I needed to find some good win cons in white because blue does not offer a lot of win cons and enchantments and you know, in this sort of deck. So of course we had to go with Hollowed Haunting. That was pretty much update on my computer. That was pretty much going to be the only option, right? So Hollowed Haunting, a very powerful win con though, don't get me wrong. If you get this down, creating these spirits is very, very powerful and it can swing a game very quickly, especially if you're attaching things like the Catilda's Rising Dawn to it, which is the backside of the Catilda, which has lifelink, gives flying, all that good stuff. So this card helped a lot with a lot of these really close games where we were taking a lot of damage early, trying to set up for our bigger spells like the Hollowed Haunting. So Catilda got us back into a lot of these games and was quite an MVP here today. I wanted to highlight and helped close out a lot of games because of its ability to just pump our creature to the moon with all these enchantments on the field. Now, because we had access to blue, I was really excited to check out, see what blue had in order, you know, in store for enchantments. Turns out not a lot, but there were some key ones here that helped out a ton. So Witness Protection being a really important one here because being a 1-mana enchantment, obviously always going to get a nice little value trigger off of Hercule, but it also acts as a bit of a removal spell because it, you know, shuts down any sort of creature. Let's say it's a Shieldred, right? I always use Shieldred as an example because it's everywhere, but you attach the Witness Protection, it becomes a 1/1. It loses all the abilities it had before. So, I mean, it renders the creature pretty much useless, and the opponent tends to just run it into a wall and throwing it away all the time, which is kind of strange to me, but they do that a lot once you attach the Witness Protection. So it's a nice little removal spell to act in blue. And then, of course, Grafted Identity, because I absolutely love this card. Being able to steal the opponent's things has always been a really fun way to play Magic for me. So Grafted Identity was a nice little fit here because we run a lot of token stuff. So sacrificing tokens didn't really matter to us. especially because they repopulate by playing Grafted Identity. And then the iteration. This one I wasn't sure about, but I actually like this one a lot because being able to bounce the thing for 4 is not great, but it's still something you can do that's helpful. And then almost, I mean, every time in this build, you're going to be drawing a card on turn 2, which is a nice little extra card, you know, so I got to take that and say that those 2 things alone were good enough. But then the creature adds this really nice flavor text where if you're playing a spell, the opponent can't cast spells of the same value that turn, which actually could disrupt their plays quite a bit, especially if we play out, you know, a couple of spells in one single turn. The opponent's going to have a hard time bouncing back from that by making them, you know, slow down quite a bit. Now, aggro, it's everywhere, right? So aggro's everywhere. Mono red, soldiers, mono black's even pretty aggressive. So depopulate was a must-have in this deck. So our ability to regenerate tokens is pretty easy to do. So once we get things like the Haunting Down and the Wedding Announcement, blowing up the board with the depopulate is not bad because we reset the board, yes, but we then reset a lot easier than the opponent because we have permanents that are producing these tokens all the time, reducing up the board. So depopulate was a must-have in today's build. And then, of course, we filled in the rest of the slots with just some really good enchantments for white. White offers some of the best enchantments in the game, like Wedding Announcement. That was a no-brainer. The restoration was really nice. Obviously, finding some more mana for us is super helpful, but bouncing things to the graveyard like the Spirited Companion and bringing it right back is also great. And then, of course, Machiko was a nice little 2-of on the top end because it can end a game in an instant by pumping up one of your creatures to the moon. So it's really, really good card to have in the top end for just a little bit of a 2-of. And then the mana was really nice too because we can access things like the Skybridge Towers for card draw late. And, you know, the mana being a 2-color deck is really nice. So it makes it nice and easy to hit your colors. But that was the deck in a nutshell, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I do appreciate you hanging out with me, like I said in the beginning. When does this come out? Tuesday. Yes. Okay. So this comes out Tuesday. Sorry. So there'll be a stream tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys aren't notified, hit the notification bell. It'll tell you when we go live tomorrow. So you can come swing by and hang out with us live on YouTube. And huge shout out, as always, to the Marty Mob. If you guys don't know, the Marty Mob is the membership program on this channel. And I want to give a shout out to them at the end of every video because I need to show my appreciation to them because they help support the channel with their monetary, you know, monthly donations. So thank you for that. I appreciate it very, very much. Thanks for being a member of the channel. I appreciate that. And yeah, that will conclude today's video. We'll see you guys back here again, of course, tomorrow for another video. Let me see. Tomorrow's video is going to be Dimir Zombies, I believe. Yes. No. Yes. Dimir Zombies. Dimir Zombies tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. Until next time, guys. Peace out.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Fizzy, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. Where's the upload, man? Man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap, yeah.